Dive, Decky, dive. His little feet going. They're hanging out in the air. Okay, so today on day 6, what I've done is I've gone out into native parkland, and I can't see you. Oh, now I can see you. Yeah, so basically what I've done is it's quite hot today, so I've got a little skull and crossbones scarf on my head just because I couldn't be bothered wearing a hat. It's so windy, I thought it's going to blow off anyway, so I'm not going to bother. But yeah, I just thought I would take time out and go someplace where I don't normally, spend every day, of course. So it's actually quite peaceful, even though it's quite hot today, and as you can hear, I can hear the birds. And I just saw a funny duck. That duck was so cute, and it was flipping its feet, and its feet were hanging out in the water, and I don't know how it was trying to stay down, but it popped back up, so that was kind of cute. And it just really made me appreciate how much goes on in my world. It just made me really recognize how much stress I've been under over the last probably the last 9 months, really. Just the whole learning curve of looking after my grandfather and maintaining a house and maintaining all his appointments, and then still trying to find time to do stuff for myself. And I guess it also made me realize, it is important to take time out to de-stress and to, give yourself a bit of an emotional, I don't know, it's like a bit of an emotional holiday. And I am a city chick. I love being in the city, and I love being involved with computers. And out here, when I first started coming out and going into the bush and just sitting around in the bush or going for a walk, I really felt uncomfortable because there's no toilets, there's no internet, there's, pretty much most of the stuff I'm used to are not around. But what I found is that it does something to you. It does something to your soul to be out in the environment and to be out in nature and, just listen to the trees and listen to the birds and hear the breeze coming through the trees and just the smells as well, the smell of the bush. I don't know, in your part of the world what the bush is like, but here it's quite, refreshing and clean, and I mean, we're still in the city, so don't get me wrong. That's why you can hear a plane going overhead now. I'm not far from home, but I guess that reconnection back to, wait for it, yeah, flew straight overhead. Just that reconnection with, I don't know, just connecting with the earth, and I feel more connected, Had a great time with my family yesterday, so that was good. My nephews were down from Sydney, and we went and saw a movie, and just hung out, and it's just really good to be able to connect like that. Also, AIDS is in hospital. He had, I think he said a triple hernia or something, and we watched his little video the other day, and he was showing us, he's got this little machine where he pushes the morphine button and it gives him morphine off his guts. So while I'm thinking about it, I just want to say I hope you get well soon. I haven't known you for very long, but it's not good to see somebody in hospital having had major surgery, so I hope you get well soon. I guess I thought of it because my boyfriend Damien, his dad's just about due to go into surgery for cancer, so and we were talking about his pending surgery. It was supposed to be this Monday, but they didn't book the surgery right, so he now has to wait, I think, until the 18th of January. So so that was a bit concerning. But what is it that you have developed as a tool for yourself, just to get yourself out of your own headspace? I know if I sit at home all day every day and do what I got to do and think about all the things that I got to think about, I go stir crazy. And as much as I can escape with reading books or watching TV or playing on the internet, it's not the same as down tooling. Because for me, if I'm connected to a computer, I'm not down tooled. I'm in the moment, and sometimes you need to down tool and to get a perspective on what's actually going on around you and what's in your environment. I've had conversations with my sister where we've just hated each other's guts for like a day or two because we just couldn't see the other person's point of view. And I guess what I found is when I go out into the environment like this and just sit in nature, and the whole nothingness of it envelops you to start off with, but then you start seeing the beauty of it, hearing all the different bird calls and noticing that there's different trees, and that when you go through certain areas through the bush has different smells, and it really puts in perspective how petty and how ridiculous sometimes misunderstandings between family members or friends really are. And there's always a solution, and what I found is that it quietens my soul. So when I now do things and I'm just losing the plot, this is one of the things that I now do to regenerate. I can't always go to the gym, which I would like to start doing more often now, and that's one of the goals for this year, is to try and fit in going to the gym. I used to go 6 times a week for an hour and a half, and obviously that had to stop for a while, but now that I've lost a little bit more weight and things with my grandfather settling down, I want to schedule that back in. And I'm also in the process now of reshifting my whole life again, because my grandfather is due to go into the nursing home. We don't have a date yet, so all that's up in the air, which of course then puts me on edge. But I do know I've got 2 years at the house before, after he goes into the nursing home, before I need to start thinking about my own place. So obviously at 6 months to go, I'll do that. But in the meantime, I want to get some new routines happening and to change my world a bit. So I'll be implementing the gym. So what are some of the things that you're doing this year? I know, it probably sounds a bit weird. I'm talking to you guys and asking you what you're thinking, but it's really great for me to connect to people and to understand where they're at. I don't do the whole, oh, how are you? Oh, you look gorgeous, darling. I don't do any of that. I don't know why. I guess because I've never really had to interact with people all day, every day, with what I call fluffy language. I'm very much a connector. I like to connect with people, and I don't like falseness and fakeness. And I tend to try as much as I can to be very clear and direct in my communication. And I have learnt over the last 12 months to interact differently, which is really great. And I tend to not go into my head as much. I don't have it rolling around my head, and what will be will be. You know what I mean? So it's been really interesting couple of days. I feel like I've grown a lot just in these last 6 days of the new year. The temptation to slip into old habits has not even really triggered. I've got 20 days to go approximately until it'll be 2 years since I've had a cigarette, so I'm looking forward to that achievement. And I guess rage. When I was younger, I was full of rage, and I would just bash people if I wanted to, because I felt that they were looking at me the wrong way. And I don't do that sort of thing, and I've never been one to send friends to do my dirty work. If I've got a problem, I usually go myself. And I do know people do send their friends, which is really bizarre to me. Why would you want to put somebody else into a bad position? I just don't see the point of that. So anyway, this is my day. I'm refreshing my soul, getting myself reconnected, and thinking about the things that are important. So, AIDS, I hope you get better soon. I know it's an unexpected hospital visit for you. Oh, and also Nikki's in hospital at the moment having tests as well. She has a shunt thing in her brain and there's something wrong with it. So I hope you get well, Nikki. I know you're going for tests and they're making you wait a long time, and being the holiday season, stuff like that happens, but hopefully you get well as well. And I'm going to take what I need so that I don't get sick myself.